Welcome back to Pages of Her, page 13. Listen, I am a nurse and I am planning to retire in just 2 years. Y'all heard me right. I said 2 years. Let's go ahead and jump right into this one. When I'm retiring, what I mean by that is it's not because I hate my job. Now, there are some parts of my job that I ain't too fond of that might have to stay there for another video. But it's because I want my time back. And when I say retire, I don't mean stopping work forever. I just mean I don't want to depend on a job to live, right? I don't want to depend on any other people to live or to survive or to have the means to take care of my family. Period. I gave myself this 2 years, not for fantasy, but for strategy. I want to truly make sure that I am doing meaningful work for me, for my purpose that I believe that God has given me. And I want to be able to survive and thrive without having to focus on what other people say I need to do in order to survive and thrive. I want to make that decision for myself, and I don't want to have to get up at the crack of dawn to do those things unless it is for me and my family. I gave myself this 2-year deadline, but not for fantasy, but for strategy, so that I can make sure that I am pinpointing the things that I need to accomplish. For most of my life, work meant survival. But then I thought, and I had this difficult question to come to mind. What would life look like if I had time and that time actually belonged to me? When most people hear the word retirement, they just imagine you stop working forever. And that's cool, that's fine, that's great, but that's not necessarily where I'm going right now in my life. My goal is to have work optional, meaning I work because I want to. I don't work because I have to or I'm forced to in the society that we're living in. Retirement for me isn't about escaping responsibility. It is more so about designing a freedom around the things that I want to be a part of my life. Everything changed when I calculated just one number, my freedom budget. I'm gonna call it my freedom number. So when y'all hear me say freedom number in the next couple of videos, 2 years down the line, be like, hey, this is what she's talking about, her freedom number. Not what it costs to live impressively, but what it costs to live peacefully. And remember, y'all, I said many videos ago that your girl is in a little bit of debt, okay? With the investment house and that being $200,000+, not including the home that we're living in, is also $200,000+, not including all the other credit card bills and just student loans. I mean, I kind of don't care about that, but technically that is debt, right? So I don't know, it might be like $500,000. I might be down $500,000 right now. I'm not even kidding you. And I'm smiling because, you know, sometimes they say you smile to keep crying. You know, you smile to keep crying. So that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Because, yeah. But this freedom number, though, represents the life that I want so that I can breathe. And I don't know exactly how long it's going to take me to truly get to the number that I want. I truly do have about a 10-year period from now to 2036. I truly do have a 10-year period, my husband and I, of getting to that true number, like that highest top tier number that we came to based on all of the investments, based on all of the properties, the this, the that, whatever it is that we're trying to get. And I realized that I'm still probably going to have to work at some point when I get to this 2-year mark, but at least my necessities are taken care of. I don't have to work because my necessities are already being paid for from other avenues. The last 8 years is building top tier, like John D. Rockefeller type of empowerment. No, what's the word I'm trying to say? Empowerment foundation? No, like empire. John D. Rockefeller's empire or Vanguard's empire or even the Trumps. I mean, y'all talk about the Trumps all the time. I ain't trying to be political. Look, don't shoot me. I'm just saying that billionaires could file for bankruptcy and still be a billionaire tomorrow. Like, that's what I'm talking about. It is figuring out those ways so that my family can continue to have money and wealth and survive, and not have to focus on things that can sometimes be really detrimental to their mental, physical, and spiritual health. When I got that freedom number, the strategy became a little bit more simple. Not easy necessarily, but because I could see it laid out, it became a little bit more simple for me. We are building three income streams. Because honestly, relying on the one paycheck is one of the biggest financial risks that there is, right? Just relying on one source of income is just not the best thing to do. First lane is investments. This is the stability layer. This is the layer of money that grows quietly in the background while life continues to move forward, to move on, because life keeps moving. These are things like index funds, long-term investments, and assets that compound over time. Second is digital income. So taking my knowledge, our knowledge of whatever we know, my knowledge is education, is nursing, is leadership, and turning those into assets. His knowledge is something different, but again, turning those things into assets. That includes things like digital content, digital content, right? Two different things: digital tools, programs, and platforms, whatever that looks like in our lives, and then making sure that we're able to get those things out to the masses. And that's honestly partly why I started Pages of Her, because I wanted to have another income stream. The thing is, I realized that it will take years. It might take 3 years. It might even take 5 years for us to truly start to make money off of this platform, off of this channel here. But you know what? By the grace of God, I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be here in 3 years. I'm still going to be here in 5 years by the grace of God. And I'm going to say, oh, I should have did this back then. I don't want to live like that anymore, right? I want to make sure that the things that I'm implementing now can really be sustainable later, and I don't have to have those, oh, what ifs, or what should I have done, or I don't want to have to go through those things in my head. So I want to make sure that I'm creating a plan now so that those things do come to fruition, hopefully sooner than expected. And the third one is considered kind of like my flexible income. So the third lane is more flexible than the other two because it's me, it's my time, it's meaning I work when I choose to work. So those are like the speaking engagements, those are consulting if I choose to do that, or if I so choose to pick up shifts as an adjunct faculty. I've done that before over the weekend. So if I so choose to pick up adjunct faculty shifts for schools, universities, and things like that to bring them to a hospital, then that would be a great way. Now, am I trying to go that route? Not necessarily, but I really do think that the speaking engagements and in some capacities could work. In 2025, I had 2 speaking engagements. I did not get paid for either of those. However, it was someone who was actually one of my students, who was the president of an organization, a huge statewide organization. And she was like, hey, I really want you to come speak at both of these engagements. And I was like, yes, of course, like count me in. And so it was really, really great, really, really empowering. And I just love to be in those types of spaces. Can it sometimes be a little bit jarring? Sure. It's because I'm doing it for myself. But when I just spoke in front of 200 nurses, new and experienced nurses, on Friday, literally 2 days ago, for work. And I was cool as a cucumber. I wasn't nervous. I wasn't shaking. My voice wasn't like quivering, like anything. I was super normal. I was chill. I was excited. But when it comes to me speaking for myself and my business, I start to have like these my carotid pulse starts bounding, my tongue gets dry, I'm like shaking, my palms are sweaty. Mom spaghetti. No, okay. Sorry. Bring it back. But again, it's I want to make sure that I'm putting these things out there into the universe so that our Lord can hear me and say, you know what, friend, like, not friend, but child, right? Daughter, this is what I'm going to do for you. And boom. And then I take those things and multiply what he's given me. You know, this freedom number, this goal is not necessarily about me never working again. It's because like I said, I truly do enjoy what I do, but the goal is never needing to work again. It's because I choose to do the work. The next 24 months is truly intentional. These are intentional months for me. Every decision is moving towards one thing, right? That freedom number. So ownership, more investing, more assets, compounded interest, baby. Come on. So more systems that produce income without me physically having to be present. That is a great thing. Instead of climbing higher on a corporate ladder, I'm building doors. And these doors won't just be for me, because when businesses do start to take off, I will be able to hire people to help with marketing or creativity or thought processes and ideas and management, all those types of things. I will still be opening doors for people. And I thought about this the other day, and I think I've thought about this quite a lot. When people give away like millions of dollars, like somebody gave, I forget how many millions of dollars to a college, or they wiped the debt clean of every graduate that year, things like that. If you can give away $80 million, how much money do you have? That is what I want. I want to be able to have such a surplus, such an overflow and abundance of resources that when I give away $100 million to whomever, whichever organization, whichever groups of people, it's because God has given us the opportunity to build something amazing, to amass something amazing, and to give back to his people. If you're giving away $100 million, you're giving it away because it's not going to put a dent into the life that you've already built. Like your life will still go on as however it's going on, whether you are eating out twice a week, or you have a private chef that comes, or you have a driver because you're so busy you got to be able to, whatever the case it may be. Like if you can give away 100 million, that means you have at least 10 times that, right? I don't know. That's just my numbers. That's just my little way of thinking. If I can give it away, that means I don't need it necessarily. The other kind of realization I had was that I truly started chasing titles. Like I didn't really realize that that's what I was doing. I didn't put two and two together. You know, having a title makes you feel a certain way, a certain type of prestige or accomplishment, or having the office with the window, and it's not even all that is cracked up to be. Like I'm thankful to have been promoted a month ago, but there's so much red tape. And there's so many things that is sucking a little bit of the joy that I once had away. It's like chasing that title really wasn't the best move for me. Chasing promotions or external validation. And that's true. I've oftentimes wanted someone to validate me and say, oh, congrats, oh, you did, like, and now I don't know if it's because I'm getting a bit more mature or a little bit more wisdom under my arms here, but I don't really want the external validation anymore. I'm starting to have a little switch, and I'm liking it. I'm realizing that titles don't create freedom, options do. The people sitting at the top of my organization are not worried about little old me. I mean, they're just not. As long as the wheel keeps turning and the cog keeps spinning, what are they caring about? The more options you build, the more control you have over your life. So that is what I'm going for. The biggest shift for me wasn't financial. It's more of a mental shift. And yes, I'm $500,000 debt. I got it. I get it. But it's also more of a mental kind of motivation, intrinsic motivation for me to kind of get things going now while I'm still relatively young. And I stopped thinking about retirement age. When I'm 67 years old, are we still going to have the resources that we have now? I don't know. So many people are not getting their retirement and their 401ks and pensions or whatever when they hit retirement age. And you see people at Walmart or Kroger or whatever bagging supplies or food and things because they have to work. They thought they had it all together and they didn't have savings. They didn't have investments, right? And now they're, poor souls, they're out there having to work and they're 80 years old. Now, if they choose to, great. Maybe because they don't, that's their way of staying young or staying active, that's fine. But the people who truly are working because they can't afford to live and they're 80, that's not cool. I'm starting to see these things as a strategy, because the moment you start waiting for permission, the clock actually starts then. And when I say that I am retiring by 2028, this is what I really mean. I'm designing a life where my time and my life belongs to me, where I do not have to ask permission to take time off to spend time with my family. So more time means more peace, more alignment, and honestly, the life I want to truly grow into. That's really what it is for me. So I'm holding my little stuff accountable, because I'm documenting my journey. I'm documenting the wins on this channel, pages of her. I'm documenting the failures, the lessons, the life lessons. Now, I ain't gonna go too deep in the weeds. Now, you ain't about to know every single little thing about me. Now, you can't do that. There's no reason for you to know all the little nitty gritty pieces of my life. But what I will tell you, about the wins and the failures and how I got there and those types of things, and my life and the pages and the different chapters of me. Right now, I am building a different chapter. I am growing into a different person, a more in-tuned, aligned, spiritual person who believes that, Jesus can do any single thing that he wants to do. And he's given us all of these different resources, and it's like, what are we going to do with it? How are we going to multiply? Are we going to truly plant these seeds and water it and nurture it and have sunlight on it and speak power into it and words into it and affirmations into it? Or are we going to take these things that God has given us and just throw them away? I don't want to be that person. My story is not finished yet. Your story is not finished yet. This is just another page to me. So stay tuned, boo-boo kitty. All right, so that's it, you guys. Super happy to have you guys listening to this. This was a little bit of more of, I think, a difficult one for me to talk about, because I'm now literally having to document and saying what I'm doing. So if you guys are also trying to design a life that feels more intentional, go ahead, subscribe. Go ahead and let me know, right? Drop a comment. Hit the like button, subscribe, so that we can be in this thing together. Tell me what your 3 strategies are, or whatever, how many strategies you have, and why you're deciding to uplift and uproot your life a little bit to make these financial goals come true. Until the next page, keep growing. Peace.